morning and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today we have a special guest, Miss Sarah Kinney. Sarah, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Sarah Kinney. I am the manager in our social services department here at the health department.
And again, I'm Virginia Inge with behavioral health as serving as an administrator and a counselor. So today we wanted to talk a little bit about weight loss. Not only literally, but also the weight of issues that weigh people down. I couldn't think of a better person to have on today than a social worker who, from what I understand, you primarily help people reduce barriers, or you can say it as reduce that weight on their shoulders of what they do to kind of get their needs met.
Yes.
So Sarah, can you just share with us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So our social workers work with patients and their families, helping them reduce barriers to their medical care, whether that's transportation, issues going on in the home, anything that can help that prevents someone from getting the proper care that they need. We meet with people and try and help figure out what those things are and what we can do to reduce those barriers so that they are able to live their healthiest lives and get whatever it is that they need.
Okay, yeah. So when we're talking specifically on an individual basis, how might you help someone say they want to get their medical needs met, but they have a wealth of issues with regard to getting those needs met? How might you try to partner with them in, say, for instance, taking their medication that they're prescribed or going to their doctor appointments? Can you speak to that a little bit from a social work perspective?
Yeah,
because I've got a counseling perspective, but I think it's a little different with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we do is we meet with someone and talk about what is going on. If you're having a hard time taking your medication, what is it about taking your medication that is hard for you? Is it that you can't remember? Is it that you're not really sure what your medications are? Is it you can't get to the pharmacy to pick up your medication?
Yeah.
So what are those things and what can we do to get around that? Setting a reminder on your phone, helping figure out who in your community can help you with transportation to get to the pharmacy, to get to your medical appointments, or maybe even meeting with them and going over what medication is what, and partnering with them and their physician on what are these medications, when do I take them, why am I taking them? Sometimes it helps when you understand what all of that is for.
And I've definitely seen some people, because of their lack of knowledge about the medications and their fear that the medications will create different side effects, they don't trust that this is the best thing for them.
Right.
And that kind of leads to, not being compliant with taking their medication.
Yeah, and the social workers, we act as a liaison between patients and their doctors. So we can help if they have a question, we can get that information from the patient, talk to their doctor about it, and relay the information back about, any kind of questions that they have about their health care.
Yeah.
So it kind of helps to have us as an extra resource.
That's huge. I know patients appreciate that.
Yeah.
In being able to ask questions and get feedback beyond that one point of 5 minutes when they're talking to their doctor.
Right.
That's pretty cool. So what you and I kind of were talking about before, sometimes when people have barriers or when they have added weight on their shoulders, it's really hard for them to get motivated to do what they're supposed to do as far as taking care of their health. So we talked about you kind of finding that niche, finding what matters the most with them, and maybe starting there.
Yeah, absolutely. What works for me might not work for you.
Yeah.
So what is it that is going to work for you? Where do you want to start? What's feasible for you at this time? It might not be feasible to say, all right, I'm going to start exercising every day of the week. Well, when you work full time and you've got kids, that's unreasonable. You can't exercise every day of the week. So what can you do? What's going to work for you, and where can we start?
And I think that's so even reassuring for maybe people that need services, but maybe they're afraid of going and somebody shaking their finger of, no, you need to do this, or, oh my God, I can't believe you're not doing that. So that's really, really awesome that you all come from that standpoint of, no, we're just partnering with you, you know, live by grace, not by perfection. Because that's what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, yes.
So that's pretty cool. And then finally, we talked about follow-up. That's super important.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about why that's important and kind of what y'all do to follow up with patients?
Follow-up is important for a couple reasons. It helps hold people accountable, making sure that, hey, did you make it to that appointment that we had scheduled for you last week? And if the answer is no, well, what kept you from getting to it? How can we fix that? Let me help you reschedule that. So it kind of helps with figuring out what's going on in their life and what's going on that's preventing you from getting the care that you need, and holding you accountable to make sure that you are doing the things that you need to do and that you want to do for your health.
Yeah, and that you care about them. And a lot of times when we are resistant to things, there's reasons for it. So sometimes talking it out and then having somebody that is a professional following up with you, it can motivate you to do what you need to do to help yourself.
Yeah.
So with that said, another reason I wanted Sarah to come on is this is kind of a double meaning today with weight loss. So not only the weight of issues that weigh people down, but also literally weight loss. So Sarah and I are participating in something called Scale Back. And Sarah, you sought me out as far as us maybe partnering together. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about this program?
Well, I've done it a couple times before. We do it every year, and it's just, I believe it's a 10-week program where the goal is for everyone to, if you want to sign up, you have a partner, and you try and lose 10 pounds over that 10 weeks. And so it kind of, having a partner helps with accountability and motivating each other. And there's always, inspirational, motivational emails and stuff that go out that help keep you going.
Love
so
it.
it's really cool, and it's fun, and it's kind of a good way to bring people together too.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so excited. And really what I've heard across the board in some of these really top conferences is that the biggest determinant of weight loss programs that work is the accountability factor. So it's not the crash diets. It's if you want to get weight off and keep it off, having accountability, someone that you're partnering with or an app that you're partnering with, and keeping you accountable and reminding you, keeping it at the forefront of your mind, that's going to help the most. So I love this idea. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part is the weigh-in. And then the weigh-in at the end as well. And I actually did hear that in the past years they've had issues with struggling with people weighing in at the end.
Yeah, you do have to weigh in and weigh out, but it's still fun. It's an accountability thing. It's a partnering thing. It's a motivational thing. It's the start of a new year.
Yeah.
So you really don't have anything to lose.
Yeah, you just do it, and you're with other people that want to improve themselves as well. And I love how it's also in that slow pace, up to about 2 pounds a week, which is a lot, but 1 or 2 pounds. So it's not any kind of crash diets going on.
Right.
Those don't work.
No.
I mean, they work, but then you gain it all back.
Yeah.
And you feel really bad.
Yeah. It's the healthy approach to losing weight and making healthier choices.
Okay. So in summary, we've talked a little bit about social services here at Family Health, at the health department, and how it really helps reduce the weight that are on people's shoulders and helps them get what they need. And even just that little bit of encouragement can go a long way.
Yeah.
And then we also talked about helping ourselves and how to help ourselves succeed, set ourselves up for success through that accountability. So we will close on that note. If you want to reach a behavioral health counselor or social services, you can reach us at Central Appointments by calling 251-690-8889. Sarah, thank you so much for your insight and coming on and sharing what you can provide for people.
Thanks for having me on, Virginia.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great Wellness Wednesday.